Hey history buffs. Today I'm diving into a fascinating topic that combines history, religion and modern events. We're talking about biblical prophecy and why some believe today's events fulfill them. Now, it's widely acknowledged among many scholars and theologians that Jesus fulfilled biblical prophecy in 70 AD. The destruction of Jerusalem and the temple was seen as the climax of these prophecies. But here's where it gets interesting. Some folks today argue that current events also fulfill biblical prophecy. They claim that prophecy repeats itself, but there's a significant issue with this idea. If prophecy is to repeat, shouldn't all prophecy take place again, not just select parts here and there? Let's unpack this a bit. Biblical prophecy is deeply rooted in specific historical contexts. For instance, prophecies about the fall of Jerusalem were tied to the political and social climate of the time. The Romans, the Zealots, the destruction of the temple. These were unique events that shaped the fulfillment of prophecy. When people say today's events match biblical prophecy, they often pick and choose certain elements. They might point to wars, natural disasters, or political upheavals as signs. But the problem is they're not considering the full scope of prophecy. Prophecies were interconnected and comprehensive, not a buffet where you can take a bit here and a bit there. For instance, if we look at the book of Revelation, it's filled with symbolic language and imagery. Interpreting these symbols can be tricky and has led to numerous theories over the centuries. But the key is to understand them in their original context. The early Christians saw these prophecies as a reflection of their struggles and hopes during Roman persecution. So when modern interpreters cherry-pick elements that seem to fit today's events, they often miss the broader picture. Prophecy, by its nature, was meant to address the immediate concerns and future hopes of its original audience. To say it repeats without acknowledging its full scope and context can lead to misunderstandings. Think about it this way: if prophecy were to repeat, we would expect a complete and coherent cycle of events, not just isolated incidents that seem to fit a narrative. To wrap this up, it's essential to approach biblical prophecy with a sense of historical context and integrity. While it's tempting to draw parallels with current events, we must remember that prophecy was deeply tied to the specific circumstances of its time. Picking and choosing elements can lead to a fragmented and incomplete understanding. So next time you hear someone say modern events fulfill biblical prophecy, take a step back and consider the full picture. History is complex and nuanced, and so is prophecy. Thanks for tuning in, history buffs. If you enjoyed this dive into biblical prophecy, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more intriguing historical insights. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.